Hello, hello, welcome back. Can't believe that we are almost through this challenge. This is day 25 of the challenge. Good job, everybody. Today's going to be another flow class. However, I'm going to put the flow sequences right at the beginning, and then the last two sequences are going to be more of just poses connected than those vinyasa sequences. So if that doesn't make sense, you'll see when we get there. You'll want to have a couple blocks and a blanket, and that should be all you need for this practice. And before we get going, I just want to run through really quickly Chaturanga Dandasana so that we kind of know the structure of the pose. We are going to put it into a flow sequence right at the beginning here. So I just wanted you to be aware of the alignment points, which sometimes fall short when we're going through these poses really quickly in a flow style. So the Chaturanga Dandasana is basically a plank position with a 90-degree bent elbow. And so from your plank line, you want to really find the shoulders, hips, and heels all in the same line. That should not change when you come into the plank position with the bent elbows. Okay, another thing to point out is when you bend the elbows, they tend to go wide and just want to clamp them together so they're only as wide as your shoulders. So it is a challenging pose, and if you want to work on the pose and modify it, you could have your knees down and just kind of play with the kind of a little bit of a shorter pose. Or another way to start to really get into the structure of the pose without kind of having that time crunch of weight bearing and holding yourself there is to work with two blocks underneath your pelvis and kind of your chest, and just kind of hold the shape of the pose. And then your body really starts to understand that shape. And when you get into those more fluid style classes with the flow sequences, your body will remember that good alignment. So let's just get a little bit warm with a very simple flow between child's pose and cobra pose. So you'll start with your knees wide, feet together, sit back for child's pose, extend your arms forward. Lengthening the tailbone away from the skull, extending the arms, enjoying nice freedom and space along the spine. Quieting your brain, maybe setting some sort of intention for your practice or your day or your week. Using an in-breath, the only thing that's going to change is you're going to sweep the feet wide, sit forward, and then start to sink the hips and pelvis toward the floor, just kind of coming into a mild extension of the spine, feeling how that goes, and then press back to child's pose, sweep the feet together, and sit back. And I'm just going to have you do a few of these at your own speed, so you're kind of self-directing as far as when to transition. But when you make the transition from child's pose to cobra, try to do so on an in-breath. Feet open up, and exhale, then you're going to sink the hips. Inhale, push back. Exhale, sit back deeply in child's pose. So just knowing when the breath, knowing when the pose comes in should be dictated by the breath. Inhale to transition. Exhale to go into that deep back bend. Inhale to transition. Exhale to go into that deep forward bend. Let's do it once more. And now come into hands and knees, table position, setting up for downward facing dog, and on an exhalation, extending into your downward facing dog. And then creeping the toes toward the wrists. Walk yourself right to the top of the mat. We're going to come into a classical Iyengar level 1 Sun Salutation. Over this challenge, I've taken some liberties with the flow sequence. This is the classical one for level 1 practitioners. It's still pretty challenging. So from the top of the mat, hands come to prayer. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, sweeping forward, Uttanasana. Now you do jump back in these. That being said, feel free to step back to downward facing dog. Inhale to upward facing dog. Chaturanga Dandasana right here. You know that's in the middle. Upward facing dog. Now it just reverses back. Downward facing dog. Look forward and jump or step forward. Raise the arms. Hands to prayer. Tadasana. So we'll do 3 more of those. Hands to prayer. Raise the arms. Forward bend. Downward dog. Upward facing dog. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Hop or step forward. Raise the arms. Hands to prayer. Tadasana. Hands to prayer. Raise the arms. Bow deeply. Step back. Upward dog. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog. Downward dog. Jump or step forward. Raise the arms. Hands to prayer. Release the arms. Last one. Hands to prayer. Raise the arms. Bow deeply. Jump or step back. Downward dog. Upward facing dog. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And jump or step forward. Raise the arms. Hands to prayer. Mountain pose. Close your eyes. Join the legs and feet. Put the shoulders over the hips. Put the skull above the spine. Receive your breath. And open your eyes. Place your block. We'll stay right here. We'll work through the practice from this short end of the mat. We only have 2 sequences, but they're longer. Go ahead and bring your hands together in front of the heart. Raise the arms. Bow deeply. We're going to step back with the left foot. I have a new mat and it's very squeaky. Stay here just for a couple beats. Pivot onto the inner left foot. You're going to lead with your left arm into warrior 2. And then from here, taking the back arm, run it down the thigh, rotate the front palm open. Inhale, proud warrior, but don't lose the deep knee bend up front. Opening the right side body. Tracking the right knee toward the outer foot, even though it wants to rotate in. Catch the inhale, move forward, resting the right arm on your right thigh, extending the left arm up. Revolve the left arm and align the biceps with your ear. Roll the trunk from right to left and really anchor into the outer left foot. Extending the left side body. Even though you're reaching out through the left fingertips, draw the left shoulder deep into the torso. Create a dynamic arm. And then keeping that, start to revolve the arm slowly, like the arm of a clock. A clock moving in fast motion. Take your arm back to the top. Place the right hand to the floor or on a block outside the right foot to the floor. Go back to revolving the arm. And as you revolve the arm, let it start to straighten your right leg. Come into triangle pose, holding the arm at the top. Try to roll the right buttock toward the front body. Try to roll the left hip crest back. And we'll move into half moon from here, taking the left hand to the left hip. Bend the right knee, step in with your left foot, step the block forward, exhale, raise the left leg, stack the top arm. Find 2 fully straightened legs. Try to find lightness on your vertical limbs, power with the aerial limbs. Come back to triangle. Good. Go back to revolving the arm, big arm of a clock. And when you feel like your arm is near your ear, let that bring you into side angle pose by bending the right knee. Keep squeezing the right knee to the right arm. Anchor into the legs. Inhale back to warrior 2. Come back to proud warrior, taking the right arm up. And then lead yourself back to your mat with that right arm, pivot off the back heel. Step the right foot back. And then tiptoe toward the wrists. Widen the feet so they're hip distance. Grab your opposite elbows. And suspend your torso and skull. Notice which forearm is on top. And with the second side of the sequence, we're going to have the alternate crossing of the arms. Just take note of this here. Drop your hands. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, hands to the heart. Tadasana. Close the eyes just briefly. Drop the shoulders. And if you walked your way back on your mat like I did, just come to the top again. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, bow deeply. Step back with your right foot. Hold it here. Establishing a really nice, long, extended right leg. Try to bring the right leg from front to back. Pivot onto the entire sole of the right foot. Anchor into your warrior leg, sweeping yourself up. Lead with your right arm. Coming into warrior 2. Try to stretch out between the shoulders, broaden the chest. Proud warrior. Right hand finds the right thigh. Left palm turns up. In breath, takes the arm up without losing your deep left knee bend. Open the left side body to your breath. Keep tracking the left knee toward the small toe, rolling the left buttock toward the front body, fully extending the right leg, and keeping a little bit of an arch protected in the right foot. Catch the inhale, ride the breath to ground the left arm on the left thigh. Stack the right arm, revolve the arm, and align the biceps with the ear. Roll your torso from left to right. Keep your right ear magnetized to the right arm. Start those really slow, sweeping clock arm rotations. Just exploring space with a fully extended arm. Keep rolling the left buttock under. Next time arm aligns overhead, just hold it there and anchor into a block or take your hand down completely to the floor. And then return to the rotations And imagine the arm is starting to slowly straighten the left leg. And once your left leg is completely straight and your arm is overhead, hold your triangle pose. Take the top shoulder back, left buttock forward, move your head back. From here, setting up half moon, right hand comes to the right hip, left knee bends, tracking with the toes, block steps forward, right toes step in, and on an exhale, launching into the pose. Finding lightness on the grounded limbs and some intention, some purpose with the floating limbs. Stepping back to triangle pose. This time your sweeping arm will restore your side angle pose. Like you have gears in a watch and the sweeping arm is slowly bending that knee. And when the arm arrives next to the ear, you're going to hold side angle pose. Keep inviting the chest and the left side body out of the shadows. Anchor into your legs. Inhale, sweep up to warrior two. Proud warrior. On an in-breath, catch that breath, ride it forward, touching down with both hands, pivoting off the back heel, stepping back with left foot, downward dog. Inhale, tiptoe toward the wrists. This time, crossing our arms in the alternate crossing. Remember which forearm was on top, take the other forearm on top. If you don't remember, it's the one that you have less favored in your habits. One that feels more awkward. And just enjoy, see if you can find some surrender along the spine, a break from gravity. The spine is usually oriented in space in the opposite way. Let your skull be a prop that supports the decompression of the spine. If you can't tap into the weight of the skull, just play with a little shaking of the head, circling of the chin. And drop the hands. Sweep the arms up. Hands to prayer. And mountain pose. Close your eyes. Drop your shoulders. Feel like you've been hung up on a hanger, held by the crown of your head. Your shoulders melting away from your ears. Your gaze is soft, pointed away from the brain. Your jaw is slackened. Your legs are firm. And your feet connect to the floor with ease, with an expansive quality. Absolutely no clinging with the feet. Good. Second and last sequence. Blocks are ready. Start from the top of the mat. Hands to prayer. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, forward bend. Step the left foot back, holding a strong lunging stance. Anchor into your legs. Compact your hips to midline. Sweep the arms back. Extend through your fingertips and shoot your breastbone forward. Take your eyes forward. Resisting gravity with the triceps. Don't let your arms droop. Keeping the foundation of the legs Extend the arms forward now. Tuck the shoulders back into the trunk. And now take the arms up. Really extend the back leg and move the tailbone way into the body. Lift your heart, lift your eyeballs. Extending forward again. Take your blocks, walking yourself into warrior three with hands grounded. We're going to stay on the left block. With your right hand, find your left foot. Once you have it, kick back into the hand. Inhale to look forward, exhale, see if you can bow toward your right leg. Good, look forward again, find your right block in your hand, extend the leg back, you're back in a modified warrior three. Step back into warrior one. And on an in-breath, reach through the fingertips and use that to straighten your right leg. Squeeze your hips together like there's a really big support belt around your hips. Inhale here, exhale, extend over your right leg, taking your hands on blocks if you need them, to either side of the right foot. Walk your hands forward and use the forward extension of the arms to support the lengthening of the trunk. Keep rolling that outer right hip bone to the left. Transfer weight to your right big toe, left small toe. Keeping the steadiness of the legs, bring the hands as far back as you can and turn them around. So your fingertips point away from you. Look forward and then exhale, get even closer to your right shin. Now inhale, walking to the left side of the mat. Line up your big toes. You're setting up Prasarita Padottanasana. Extend your arms forward again. Good. Bring your hands to center. Put your right hand in the center. Take your left hand to your left hip. And then take your right hand to your outer left ankle. And pulling on that ankle, turn your trunk to the left. You can take your free left hand over to your right side waist and roll that top shoulder up and out of the way. Good. Come back to center. Walk your feet in a little bit. Little bit wider than hips. You're going to leave your feet, toes pointing forward. Bend your knees. Sit down in a big wide squat. And then start to move your hands to sit behind the feet. And then you're just going to see about sitting back and seeing if you can hold some of your own weight. This is setting up for Bhuja Pidasana. Just a little attempt. Now bring your hands out of position. Walk your feet together. Sit down. And then bring your torso upright. Setting up for Malasana. So your arms are going to be in front of you. I'm sorry I'm facing away from you, but I'll be on the correct side for the second side of the sequence. Let your knees open up, touch the floor, walk your hands forward, and bow deeply. Malasana, garland pose. Feel free to grab the ankles if that's accessible. If you went to the ankles or turn your hands out in front of you, inhale, sweep the arms up, and then go ahead and touch the floor, sit forward, sit back in hero pose. And now you're going to turn to the right side of your mat. You're going to anchor your hands, so you're setting up a modified side plank. You're gonna bring your hips forward and extend the left leg out. Sweep that right shin in and find a modified side plank here. Full side plank if you want to go for it. And then make your way to a floor facing plank. Draw your hips back and walk yourself in. All the way to the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Release your arms. Second side, last sequence. Hands together, prayer position. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, bow deeply. Stepping back with the right foot. Hold it there. Squeeze the hips together. Fully extend the right leg. Tapping into the power of the legs, take the hands, sweep them back, shoot the fingertips back, shoot the breastbone forward, look forward. Full extension of the right leg. Keep that, sweep the arms forward, suck the shoulders back, keep shooting the breastbone forward. Next inhale, take it all the way up. Really extend the right leg, straighten the knee. Good, you're back over the thigh. You're gonna find your blocks, put them in your hands, walk forward, launching a modified warrior 3. And then making contact with left hand, right foot. Kick back into the hand once you have it. Shoot the knee back. Inhale for length, exhale for depth. Go into that standing leg. Bow deeply. Inhale for that length again. Shoot the leg back. Sorry, I didn't mean to drop down there. You're back in the modified 3. Now step back into warrior 1. Reversing back now. Lift your heart. Using the power of the fingertips, using the in-breath, extend the left leg. Vice grip around your hips, clamp them together. Inhale big here, exhale, bow forward. Crawl the hands forward to extend the spine. And then move the hands back and turn them around. Look forward for length, exhale, close in on that left shin. Keep rolling left hip bone toward midline. Good. You're gonna creep now to the right side of the mat, setting up Prasarita Tadasana again. Big toes on the same line across your mat. Hands are gonna move forward to get your trunk nice and spacious. Take a few moments there. Take your hands to center. Left hand in the shadow of the sternum. Right hand to your right hip. Exhale, turn into the right. Good. Now taking that handprint on the floor, bring it to the outer right ankle. Take that right hand to your outer left hip. Nice deep rotation here. Good. Releasing out of it. Closing the span between the feet, not all the way. You want to keep them wider than hips. Toes point forward. Start to bend your knees and squat. Bring your hands behind your feet. We do want to try to get the heels of the hands down. Sit back as much as you can. See about a little bit of a arm balance. Suspending your own weight. Just see about it. It's not like we're getting deep into that pose today. Then you're going to bring your hands forward again. Walk the feet together. Sit down. Malasana. Extend the arms forward. Widen the knees and touch the floor. Just kind of a similar experience with the upper body as you have in down dog, except Not so much weight bearing on the wrists, of course. You can be here, you can grab your ankles and bow the head deeper. Reversing your step slowly out, zipping the knees together as you bring the arms back up. Bring your weight forward to sit back on the feet. And then you're going to turn to the top of your mat. We're going to be setting up modified side plank from here. And if it works for you today, full side plank. Both arms down, plank position. Draw your hips back, downward dog. Place your knees. Sit back in child's pose. Take as many breaths as you need. And as you're ready, transition to Shavasana. I'm going to leave you there today. Take as long as you need in your Shavasana. 5 to 10 minutes is ideal. And namaste.